We have all had the experience of feeling slimed. Slimed by a person or a conversation or an interaction where we just feel like we've taken on too much of their energy, or we feel depleted, like now we need a nap. So today we're going to talk about boundaries, and I'm going to give you one great energy boundary tip to take through your day with you. My name is Kendra Ward, and I am a transformational coach for women, helping women call back more joy, inspired living, and confidence into their everyday lives. So when we think about boundaries, we really need to trace it back to where did we learn about boundaries from? And maybe we really never did. So for most children, they're learning about boundaries as modeled by their parents. And, it's as simple as don't pull the dog's tail. And being able to set up the healthy boundary by not just telling them no, but to also explain why. We don't want to hurt the dog. We don't want you to be bitten. So explaining the boundary is also a really important part of showing respect to the child as well. Talking them through the whole thing. So as children get older, hopefully they're being offered even more opportunities to know their own boundary, their own respect. So this means taking a moment to knock on the door before entering their room, or asking them their opinion about something, or just giving them an opportunity to have a sense of independence. Boundaries are based in a sense of self-respect. So self-respect and also a respect for others. So the problem is that most adults walking around on this planet these days maybe never really had anybody teach them about boundaries very well. And so it becomes very hard to model that then to their children, and on we go. So when we're thinking about a simple way of upholding our boundary, working with our imagination through visualization is super duper helpful. So I love the egg of light, or just the egg, or the bubble. I like to call it the bubble, which is just a basic acknowledgement of our own auric field. So in some people it may be really big, and in other people it might be really tight. And we've all had this experience of sitting next to someone and feeling like they're really not picking up on our cues about personal space and about how close we're comfortable with them being to us. So when you're thinking about your own bubble, being aware of how big do you want it, how big does it need to be for you? And there may be instances where your bubble it's fine for it to be kind of on the thin side. You're hanging out in a really safe place, but there might be some other instances where your bubble needs to be really thick. Maybe you are in your home life or your work life, there's someone who kind of triggers you. And a really good cue of that is that you feel really tired out after you have interacted with them. So this is a really great opportunity in practicing working with and visualizing your bubble, that you just immediately know you need to call up 100% strength to your bubble at this time. So that's a great way of just then setting the tone for your speech, for your body language. When you're upholding this strong bubble, it gets reflected in all sorts of ways for yourself. So the topic of energy boundaries is actually gigantic, and we could talk on and on about it. It's particularly important for people who have a profession where they are every day ongoingly working with other people, and having an opportunity to visualize their boundary, to not just feel so exhausted and depleted all the time. It's absolutely essential to your own energy hygiene. So experiment with feeling your bubble throughout the day, just calling it up whenever you can, and also thinking about other people around you in their own bubbles. This will allow you to also have a sense of respect for other people's space, energetic space, and making sure that you're not infringing upon other people's boundaries as well. So I want to give you two quick resources here. There's this great book by Pixie Lighthorse called Boundaries and Protection. A great little read on learning just a little bit more about energetic boundaries. And then one of my teachers, Christina Pratt, is currently doing a 7-week online course about energy hygiene, the energy landscape, boundaries, and I'll leave you some information about that in the video description up above. So to your ever unfolding brilliance, until next week.